time to take it home here on Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show hosted by the NFL player and the weight loss champion, Redskins defensive end. On my left, Adam Carriker.
We are creating radio magic, my friends.
Yes, we are. I'm Mr. Former Wrestling Announcer and weight loss champion Chuck Carroll. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at the Chuck Carroll, him on Twitter at Adam Carriker94, the show on Twitter at Fourth and Pain.
You know, I didn't know I'd make it back. I went to the bathroom during the commercial break, had to drain the iguana, but I made it.
I'm proud of you.
Hey, it takes a while when the hose is long.
Wow. I don't know where that came from.
I think I just threw you for a loop.
I'm just
you don't know
trying
what to say.
I'm just trying to get to the WrestleMania picks, and suddenly we're in a measuring contest.
Hey, man, I'm just open and honest with the people.
Good Lord.
Just call it the people's iguana if you want.
WrestleMania, the biggest pay-per-view of the year, tonight at MetLife Stadium, outdoors in New York. A very loaded card, Adam. We had the opportunity, solicited a number of your teammates for picks. This week, we got picks from Alfred Morris. We got picks from Pierre Garcon, who went to Raw with us on Monday. Picks with London Fletcher and the number 2 WWE guy in the locker room, Adam Gettis. Now,
he might be approaching number 1, but we'll get there. We're going to go through all of our picks, and we're going to debate, and I'm going to prove Chuck wrong and everything.
I don't think you are.
Okay, well, let's see what we got here.
I will find it interesting that among the main event, The Rock versus John Cena, you and I are the only two that went with John Cena. Everybody else is going with The Rock, and I would say everybody else dead wrong.
I think that's more of a heart versus over a head pick right there. I think every one of those guys who made that pick, they're more Rock fans than they are Cena fans, so they want The Rock to win. You and I were picking with our hands, even though you're a big John Cena fan. The biggest I've ever met.
Huge.
And finally, you're big at something. And so you're going with your childhood hero. Me, I'm just going with my head.
Love me some Fruity Pebbles. But let's work our way up from the bottom of the card up. I wanted to get the main event out of the way, but let's start with the Intercontinental title match, The Miz versus Wade Barrett. Pretty much a clean sweep for The Miz, with the exception of Alfred Morris, who thinks that Wade Barrett is going to retain. Now, I don't understand his logic there, not one little bit. Can you envision a scenario where Barrett retains in this one?
Most matches, I had no problem predicting who I think is going to win. This was one of the matches I was kind of like, because Triple H and Wade Barrett are good friends.
This is
true.
true.
Maybe Triple H wants to give Wade Barrett a push, but The Miz is just so much better. He's so much more entertaining. He's way better on the mic. He gets a way bigger reaction from the crowd. To me, The Miz has to win if Triple H is going to do his best for business.
Tons of Funk and the Funkadactyls against Road Scholars and the Bella Twins. Adam, you are the lone man out going with the Road Scholars here. Why?
Why on God's green earth would they have Lord Tenzai, a.k.a. Sweet Tea, win a match at WrestleMania? They don't like what Brodus Clay is doing. Vince McMahon came out on Raw, stopped him in the middle of his act, said, "This is not what we're about anymore. Sweet Tea is terrible. He's a joke of what he used to be." Why would they have them win? It's Road Scholars, who, by the way, are hilarious. They are funny. I am a big Damian Sandow fan. Cody Rhodes, he's somewhat interesting now with the mustache, but the two of them together are hilarious, and the Bellas being back, I think, is big too. And I'm alone on this island, but that's okay.
That's quite all right. You know, I will say this. This is where your intelligence, my intelligence, and Gettis' intelligence when it comes to pro wrestling pays off. And the match with Fandango against Chris Jericho. As wrestling guys, as marks, if you will, we understand that Fandango is going to win this match.
I guarantee London Fletcher, Pierre Garcon, and Alfred Morris are like, I can buy my movie tickets at WrestleMania.com now? What is this? They don't even know who Fandango is, so they went with becoming an icon, Chris Jericho. But the three of us know that Fandango is getting this big push. Ergo, we went with Fandango.
Ryback versus Mark Henry. Ryback was kind enough to join us on the show last week, so now he's going up against Mark Henry at WrestleMania. Again, you, me, Gettis, go Ryback. Joining us with that is London Fletcher. Alfred Morris, Pierre Garcon, they're going with the world's strongest man. Unfortunately for them, they're dead wrong.
I'm thinking finally Ryback has to win a match of somewhat importance. Finally, he has to win a pay-per-view match. He has to do something to put him over. He's over with the fans, and he hasn't won an important match ever. So this is going to be the match that perhaps can launch him into superstardom to becoming more than just the John Cena CM Punk show, with some of the Attitude Era guys coming back to really carry the bandwagon. Maybe he can be that third modern day wrestler to kind of be launched into the stratosphere.
Now, Adam, I like your teammate Pierre Garcon. He was the first guy to win the Fourth and Pain Championship last season, but I'm also going to call him out for being ignorant. And in this case, he is ignorant. He is the only guy who thinks that Sheamus, The Big Show, and Randy Orton will beat the Shield at WrestleMania. Pierre, under no circumstance is this going to happen. You are a better wide receiver than you are a pro wrestling prognosticator.
Here's my prediction. The Shield's going to win, but I'm throwing another wrench into this whole little mess here. The Big Show is not on the same page with the other two guys. He either A, comes out to be the fourth member of the Shield, which I don't think is what's going to happen, but I think he's just going to turn on the other two in the middle of the match, costing them the match.
Coincidentally, The Big Show got a chance to meet him this past week when he was on with the Sports Junkies. Huge.
Talk about that for 30 seconds.
Makes you look small. This man is legit 7 feet plus and 440 pounds, I do believe. Dude, the picture that I tweeted out, I think you saw it. I come up to his nipple.
I think you come up to his belly button, but okay, we'll give you the nipple.
I come up to his nipple, and his hand is the size of my head. Huge. You talk about an anvil. This guy legitimately has a friggin' anvil for a hand. 2 of them, as a matter of fact.
Of all the guys at Raw, we got to meet quite a few, and it was a great experience. There's 2 guys I really wanted to meet. The Rock, for obvious reasons, but The Big Show, just to see what the world's largest athlete looked like up close in person. And I someday am going to get that opportunity to meet him.
Huge. Absolutely. I'm sure that if we ask our friend Al at WWE, can you hook it up?
Al's a good guy.
Al
has been
guy.
Great to us. Thank you, Al, for everything you did for us, by the way.
Al,
we greatly appreciate it.
You are wonderful. All right, moving right along. We only have a few minutes here. Team Hell No, the champions Kane and Daniel Bryan, going up against Dolph Ziggler and the debuting Big E Langston. A clean sweep for Ziggler and Langston, with the exception of Pierre, you're wrong again, and Adam Gettis. Now, Gettis, I don't understand why you would go with this. I think that your wrestling IQ has just lowered a little bit in my book.
I had a really hard time picking this match. This was the toughest match for me, and I will tell you why. Because Big E Langston needs to win. He needs to make a great debut, just like Fandango would get over. My issue is, for a long time, I thought Dolph Ziggler was going to cash in Money in the Bank at the end of the World Heavyweight Championship match, whether it's Del Rio or Jack Swagger that wins, and win the championship. But Dolph Ziggler cannot walk out of WrestleMania the World Tag Team Champion and the World Heavyweight Champion. So I really struggle with this. So here's what I've done. I'm convinced myself he's not going to do it at WrestleMania. He's going to do it Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania and win the World Heavyweight Championship from whoever won the match at WrestleMania, whether it be Jack Swagger or Alberto Del Rio. Ergo, I'm justifying my pick of Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston winning.
I actually think it makes more sense for him to cash it in at WrestleMania and win it as well, because it's WrestleMania. That's the time when you do that.
I struggled with this. I'm like, how can he walk out with both? He's not a megastar like that. So I'm just trying to justify because I think Big E Langston has to go over. I really struggle with this, if you couldn't tell.
Well, and plus, I think that this will be the nail in the coffin for Kane and Daniel Bryan as a tag team.
We keep saying that, but it never happens.
And one last note, Big E Langston, those are some huge moves you got, my friend.
Oh, true story. I got a text from my trainer. He knew I was going to be on Raw. Mr. Larry Hess, who's now a huge wrestling fan. No, he's not. But he watched Raw just to see me ringside. He's like, oh, I see the big meathead. Haha, thanks. Turkey neck. That's what you are. But anyways, he's like, who's that big guy out there with Dolph Ziggler? That dude is huge. That guy is Big E Langston, and you caught my athletic trainer's attention, by the way.
Big E Langston, congrats. You're the next man to play for the Washington Redskins.
Zeus's son.
Come on down.
You have to be his son. You look just like him.
We just talked about it, the other championship match. Alberto Del Rio defending against Jack Swagger. This one was split evenly. Myself, Alfred Morris, Pierre Garcon going with Swagger. The rest of you guys, London Fletcher, Gettis, and yourself going with Del Rio retaining. Why Del Rio retaining?
Simply because his face turn has gone over big with the crowd. They're really trying to touch into that Mexican, Spanish population, and I think they want to keep that going. I think Jack Swagger is in this match because he's expendable. Ergo, the man we talked to, PW Insider, that's exactly what he told us. And we're like, how does Swagger get into this and not a Randy Orton or someone of that nature? He's too expendable. And the Alberto Del Rio face turn has gone just wonderfully.
Well, I think that this match is kind of
It could go either way, honestly.
Yeah, and it's moot because I still think that Ziggler is going to cash in, so whoever wins, it's going to be short-lived. Then the two biggest matches of the night, in my opinion. Adam, will start with Brock Lesnar against Triple H. You and I going with Lesnar. Joining us in that is Fletcher, but then Alfred Morris, Pierre Garcon, Adam Gettis, they're going Triple H. Career-threatening match. Whenever that happens, that person with the career on the line loses. That streak's going to continue. Brock Lesnar is going to win.
Well, when they were debating what the stipulation was going to be, I'm like, it's going to become no holds barred, no DQ or something. And I say he's going to have to retire, but career on the line is the same exact thing. So I got the stipulation correct. Had that not been the stipulation, I would have had a really hard time predicting this match. A few things you need to know. Brock Lesnar just signed a 2-year contract.
Right.
So they want him to go over. They want him to be big in the eyes of the fans. Triple H views his almost 20-year career, even though it was 16 years last year. Now it's 17, but all of a sudden it rounds up to 20 and not down to 15. That's interesting. But anyways, neither here nor there. His almost 20-year career, he feels he's done it all. He can't do anymore. He's ready to be done, walk away, be the COO, take over the business part of this company. And what you said, anytime a career is on the line, the person with the career on the line always ends up losing.
Dunsky. And then the big one, the one that we're all looking forward to, CM Punk going up against The Undertaker. Does The Undertaker get to 21-0? According to you, no, he does not. I disagree. Alfred Morris disagrees. Matter of fact, everybody disagrees with the exception of Adam Gettis. What with the two Adams, man? How in the world is CM Punk going to come away with this? The Undertaker has been decimated on Raw leading up to the WrestleMania. And whenever that happens, the person that has been getting their ass handed to them wins at WrestleMania. Plus, we're talking about the streak. It's not ready to be over. And now, I have said, if The Undertaker were going to lose, this would be the opportune time. CM Punk is the right guy to carry the torch for WWE, but it's not going to happen.
Well, first of all, leading up to the WrestleMania match, if you push Undertaker and make him look like the dominant one, CM Punk has just lost twice to The Rock. He just lost to Kane on Raw. I can't remember the last time he won a match, to be honest with you. It's probably been a couple of months. So nobody's going to be interested. The streak continuing isn't interesting. The streak ending is interesting. There you go. They had to push CM Punk. They had to make him look like the one who's in charge, the one who's playing mind games with the Taker, making this match much more interesting. And will the streak end? So they had to play it that way. All of a sudden, that became the way to play this. Undertaker's not going to get to 25-0. What's the point of ending at 21, 22, 23-0? I think he's going to do what's best for the company, what's best for business, and that is to pass the torch. That is to launch CM Punk into superstardom for the future of the WWE. Ergo, CM Punk wins.
We'll find out who's right Sunday night. WrestleMania.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Got a question. My knee's kind of hurting.
Uh-huh.
How good of a friend are you?
I'm a very good friend, I would like to
Will you
think.
please rub my soft tissue?
We're fresh
My
out of
knee is
time.
hurting, and I need you to rub my soft tissue.
We're
You won't rub my soft tissue?
Fresh out of time. I'm Chuck Carroll. Thank you so
could you
very
please
much
rub
for
my
believing.
soft
We
tissue?
are fresh out of
It's
time.
a myofascial release.
No, I will not rub your soft tissue.
It is a myofascial release of my soft
gotta
tissue.
go. We gotta go. We're out of time.
These are athletic training terms, by the way. These are things we really do to get me better. I just made them sound a whole lot more interesting, though, didn't I?
WrestleMania, fresh out of time. I'm Chuck Carroll. Thank you so very much for believing in our weirdness.
I don't know what else to add. Largest arms on the D line. Peace out, Fourth and Painters.
Stupid. Oh, you're still here. Let's take it home with another Words of Wisdom with Adam Carriker.
Boy, why do you straighten your hair? Girl, because it makes it look longer. Doctor, okay, tell me again how you burned your...